Hello, Michael. How are you
Oh,
doing?
this is in my hair. Thank you for that.
Oh, yeah. That's a perfect. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Just trying
thank
to
you.
blow it off there.
The wind
Woo!
look. It's fabulous.
When we bartend, it'd be pretty cool if I had a blow dryer and as you were making the drinks, I
Uh-huh.
just, I just like blow
Like a
drying your
brick
hair.
girl. Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
oh, is it windy in here?
Oh, I know.
How's your week going?
It's good. Happy Tuesday, young man. It's been a minute. I haven't seen you for a few weeks.
Oh man, I have seen multiple people that are now copying you on young man, young lady. I'm one of them, but everyone needs their greeting. But if you're Michael Mackey, what do you say?
I wait. If I'm Michael Mackie, what do I say? I always say, hey, young man, because chances are I don't know your name. I also say governor, senator, sunshine. If you're a girl, hi, sunshine. How are you?
Ooh, I
Because I'm
haven't
so bad.
mastered that one. I think you can get away with that one. I do senator, and I say young man, young lady because of you.
You're
And then
welcome.
there's another gentleman. His name is Harry Campbell, and I say doctor. And so one time when I was walking into a golf club, just like, hey, doctor. And they go, whoa, whoa, Scott. Hey, not the club. It's Frank. And I was like,
Oh,
whoa, whoa, whoa. Forgot I didn't realize you were both doctors.
well, at the club, you could pretty. I mean, senator, doctor, governor. That's pretty. That's a kind of a safe bet.
I don't know. So we forgot to tell the guests. That's why people come on the show that we banter back and forth and we talk about Bestway International, who just happened to have hired three new client success managers. So they'll be working with their biggest clients as they have specialty freight that comes overseas or throughout North America. And so we're really happy to have them as a sponsor and delivering, not like we deliver on this show, but they actually deliver to the client.
Shout out to Bestway International. Thank you for your sponsorship.
How do you plug sponsors? You have to plug sponsors because you're an MC, you do it all the time. Do you make it really organic or do you just slam it in like I did?
6 to 1, half dozen the other. I mean, I don't think you slammed it in. I thought that was a nice little transition.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you. Well, I know people don't come here for us, but we do
I
want
mean,
to
they
remind.
should. I don't know why they don't. They need to.
Well, not gonna lie, with that lighting and that hair today, you're looking great because it's kind of cloudy where I am, but yet it's sunshine where you are. But we want to remind everyone that we do want you to let us know where you're tuning in from, Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn. We will literally read anything you post as long as it's not profane.
No, we won't.
Yeah, Michael says we won't, but I'm just trying to get you to post.
Post all you want. If you're Paul Fogel, you'll be posting something insipid here in like 3, 2.
Oh! Look at that. That's awesome. So, as Sander pulls it up, Michael will read it.
Will I? Okay, maybe. Probably.
Okay.
Likely. Yes.
Okay, well, as Sander gets the music going, I am going to get ready to announce our guests.
We have 2 fabulous guests today. Can't wait to meet them.
And number one, ladies first, Geri Parscale.
Everybody.
And number two, Mr. Stephen Ross.
What's up, guys? How are we?
Doing good, doing
Hey,
good.
kids. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to Drinks
Happy
with
Tuesday.
Leaders.
Happy Tuesday.
Sponsored by
Thanks for having
Bestway
us.
International.
There it is. There it
Good
is.
plug.
Good plug. All right. Well, I'm gonna ask all the questions. It's the hard hitter ones right off the top. I'll start with Geri because, like Scott said, ladies first. Geri, who are you? Where are you from? And what do you do? Tell me everything. Go.
I will. So my name is Geri Parscale. I am a 38-year educator, a veteran educator. I've been a teacher. I've been a principal. I have been a director of professional development. And then I actually ended my on-site career as the deputy superintendent at Fort Leavenworth schools in the metro area. And then since departing from Fort Leavenworth, I have been an educational consultant, and I have the ability to go out and to all of the nation and consult with teams of teachers, schools, and school districts on how to get better as they work with their kids on a daily basis. And how I ended up in Kansas City, I grew up in a really small town, Troy, Kansas, in the northeastern corner of the state. And, when we would go to the big city, we would go to Kansas City. And it always kind of tugged on my heartstrings. So really, for the most of my adult life, I have been in the Kansas City area. I live in Lawrence, Kansas now, just a stone's throw away, but I've taught in the Kansas City, Kansas school system. I was principal in the Piper School District, and the Kansas City area is my home. Like I said, I have the ability to go out and go to different states and work with teams of teachers, and albeit it's wonderful, I get to come back to Kansas City. And that is it. So for me, I'm also an author, which is what we're going to talk about a little bit today. So that's my story.
I love it. Well, when you say education consulting, that's a little nebulous, but I know better. I know that you have a special niche, sort of. Tell our viewers about that.
So I have the privilege of being able to work with schools who might be sputtering just a little bit, and really go in and work with teams of teachers who might be struggling on what to do, and really work with them to be able to engage their students and to really find what it works for that individual student. So those interventions that they're giving are really, really good, right? And it just so happened that in 2006, my youngest son, Nicholas, was diagnosed with pineoblastoma, which is a brain tumor. And for him, it was inoperable. And I saw, through his educational career, my co-author, Darcy Krause, was the principal for Nicholas at the time. And I watched him really kind of from the sidelines, as the mom, and everything that they did for him. And he had a great educational career. And then he passed in 21. And Darcy and I remained close. And one of the things that she kept saying to me was that I was building the plane while I was flying it. And we realized that there are, there are better things that we could be doing for students in trauma. And, writing this book, one of the things that we found in research was that 2/3 of students now worldwide are identifying that they've been a victim of a traumatic event or a crisis event by the time they reach the age of 16. And so my social media feeds are full of teachers who are dedicated, professionals in their career who are coming across students who need behavioral interventions, social emotional interventions, and physical interventions on top of the academic interventions we work with on a daily basis. And they don't know what to do. And so that's why Darcy and I wrote the book, Navigating the Unexpected. There's my book, Navigating the Unexpected. And it is a playbook for teachers, for teams of teachers, for schools, and for districts to be able to set up a system of extra time and the approach for working with students who are going through trauma. So it's pretty powerful. It came out about a month ago. We're very excited to get it into the hands of teachers everywhere, because our philosophy is it's not a matter of if a trauma is going to happen, it's a matter of when. So
where can we order the book?
You can find that book at Amazon.com and SolutionTree.com.
Thank you.
You are truly doing good work with your trauma response, Geri. So
Thank you.
Props, mama.
Thank you.
All right, up next, Stephen, the toughest questions you'll get all day for sure. Who are you? How did you end up in KC? And more importantly, what do you do, young man?
All right. So my name is Stephen Ross. How I made it to Kansas City. I've been here my whole life. Pretty easy answer. I had the utmost privilege of going to high school with yours truly, Scott Havens here. Blue Valley Northwest Huskies all the way. So yeah, born and bred in Kansas City, lived in Overland Park my whole life. I actually still live in Overland Park. My wife and I lived in downtown in KCMO for a bit, but then of course migrated back out south. So that's how I've always been here in Kansas City, how I made it here. What I do, so we do quite a bit, but my predominant roles right now is owner and president of Renovating KC Design Remodel and Renovating KC Services, which is an HVAC and plumbing company. The best way to think about us is we are kind of white collar meets blue collar in the construction world. So we kind of mashed a new age tech with old school gritty construction and kind of created a pretty epic startup company is how I like to present it in Renovating KC. So, you know, we're a full service design and build firm. So we have designers in-house, operation managers and project managers in-house, as well as a large portion of the construction piece in-house. So that's what kind of sets us apart from others is we self-perform a lot of these tasks that traditionally other general contractors are going out and really just subcontracting out. We're still in kind of startup launch. So we're technically only in our third year. We started the business with zero money, essentially. We've grown to 20 employees. We're well into 8 figures of lifetime revenue generated. So yeah, we take a lot of pride in that. It's not about me. Definitely. It's about the team. We've got some really hungry folks that work here. I'm a professional stealer when it comes to talent. So I kind of identified other people in this space in Kansas City and then kind of just plucked them and convinced them to come work for us over here Renovating KC. So that's really what's attributed to our exponential growth in this space. But what we love is really twofold. Like I love the business side of it. I love developing a team. I love coaching a team. Being around this group of people here is what, you know, motivates me and keeps me on track. And then we love our work. We love our customers. We do some absolutely incredible design build jobs, whether it's bathrooms, kitchens, basements, 2,500 square foot additions like one we just finished last week. You kind of name it, we can do it on that residential side. But like I said, it's just really fun being a part of a fun team that is kind of still in startup. So you referenced earlier flying the plane while you're building it. That's us for sure right now, which is fun.
What are the most popular services right now that your company performs?
Yeah, I mean, on the service side, for sure, HVAC, right? It's air conditioning season. Yesterday, we just got blasted. So we also do full service maintenance and repair install on HVAC and for plumbing. So water heaters, furnaces, air conditioners, etc. So that's the theme of this week and will be for following weeks is air conditioning. But on the design build side, we have a unique background. So I've been a licensed home inspector since 2015 and a licensed real estate agent since 2017. So we take the ROI approach with a lot of our customers. So they come to us and they say, hey, Steven, I've lived here for X amount of years. We want to redo the kitchen. Talk us through how we can get the best ROI out of our dollar spent on the house. And I just have the background to speak to that factually. So right now it's generating ROI out of people's investments is the best service that we have to offer.
When did you realize that you had a knack for this, Steven? And more importantly, when did you realize you had an eye for design?
Yeah, so my brother and I have been in the real estate investment world since we were still in college in 2009. So he graduated in 2009, I graduated in 2012. And ever since then, we've kind of been serial entrepreneurs geared with roots in real estate. So we were buying houses, flipping them ourselves, working on the weekends, doing everything wrong, trying to figure out how paint colors match with certain countertops and tile, again, doing everything wrong. We kind of just cut our teeth that way. But we really kind of we really had a knack for real estate. And so all things real estate kind of proceeded from them, whether it's, again, the realtor side, the inspector side, the investor side, and now the design build side. I myself am not a superb designer. That's not my core competency. So naturally what we did is we went out and hired 2 very fantastic designers, and they come up with stuff that I don't understand how they do it, but they do it, and it's great.
So Geri, I think you alluded to this a little bit on, a pivotal point in your career, but if you want to highlight some pivotal points as we start that shot clock, what are they?
I've had so many and been blessed to work with so many wonderful teachers, but I think that the profound pivotal point, as you say, was when I was a mom, right, of a child who had a terminal illness and going through trauma, and to see how that married with the education that he was receiving. And he was receiving some great support, right? But I think the pivotal point was for us now, and for me as an educator, realizing that there is more that a school can do to be able to prepare. Because I think, when I look at what schools do really, really well, when we talk about trauma and crisis, we think of fire drills and tornado drills and intruder on campus drills. And the reason that schools do that so very well is because there's a system of support in place and everyone knows the steps in that system, right? But when we have a child who, let's say, has lost one of their parents has lost an income, right? And after COVID, we saw a lot of that. Or if a child is exhibiting some severe behavioral needs or social emotional needs, we don't have a system in place for that. And I think that's what Darcy and I reflected on, is there is a better way to do that. And so writing this book as a playbook for teachers, for school districts, to be able to set that up before the trauma happens. And then when you have that system in place, you're ready. So that when you get a child who is diagnosed with diabetes, or if you get a fourth grader into your school who has moved from another war-torn country, or anything that is trauma related or crisis related, I think that now you'll be ready. And that's the reason that we wrote the book, because again, we were writing the rules as we went through it. And we don't want teachers to have to scramble. We called it the casserole effect in the book, because when Nicholas got sick, everybody and their brother brought over casseroles and 2-liter bottles of Diet Coke, right? You just want to do something. And with our book, you'll know what you're going to be doing. You have the playbook. So as a pivotal moment, I think writing the book and helping schools to be prepared, that would be it.
And 38 years of practicing it on a weekly basis. So I think people need to buy the book and take your advice.
Yes, ma'am.
Stephen, yourself, what is the most pivotal point in your career, pivotal points in your career?
Definitely. So mine's twofold. So I've obviously got to mention the first one is my family. Becoming a dad is obviously such a pivotal point. I mean, I have 3 young daughters, 5, 2, and 1. So we are busy, and that's okay. We love it. We understand that's what we signed up for. So that's by far the biggest pivotal point in my life was, getting married, my wife, Kelsey, and then having the 3 daughters. So, but on top of that, from a career perspective, obviously launching Renovating KC has been the largest thing. So before that, we still have several other businesses that we own and operate. But the Renovating KC has made the largest splash both in the community and then, again, from a team building perspective, what we've been able to kind of cultivate here from a team building perspective, to me, is the biggest win, right? Because obviously I love our work. I love transforming spaces and seeing new kitchens come out and bathrooms come out and adding additional square footage to a home, or somebody investing a lot of money into their home so we can fix it up and then they can sell it and they make a killing and profit on the back end. That's great too. But to me, it's the team here at Renovating KC is the biggest win, and getting to see them grow professionally, personally as well. I mean, like I said, we're a pretty tight-knit group. So for me, being a dad and then launching Renovating KC, that, Renovating KC's services as well, like the HVAC and plumbing, is so new. It was an organic request from our design build customers. Hey, do you guys not do HVAC work? Do you not do, water heater replacement, stuff like that? And again, went out and acquired some really good talent on guys who can perform those services. And we've not spent hardly any money growing that company, and it's growing like a weed right now. So we're super thankful for that. But yeah, like I said, really family, and then the launch of Renovating KC brands for sure.
So, Michael, you may not know this, but Stephen is buddies with a longtime guest, Jeff Yakos, that comes on the show.
Jeff Yakos?
Jeff Yakos. So I actually hold my license with Yakos and Associates. So that's where my real estate license is with. So I talk to Jeff weekly, several times a week, and we get together for team meetings all the time. Most of the time on the golf course. Jeff always ironically plans his team meetings on the golf course, which I don't complain about.
I don't feel like that's ironic. I feel like that's unironic or less
on brand, right?
On
on brand.
It's
Yeah,
a fact.
exactly.
That's
Well,
not Alanis
Kansas is a
Morissette.
big, giant, small town. So facts.
Yeah, it is. It is.
It's not Alanis Morissette ironic, but when you see the future of your organization, sorry for interrupting and talking over. I'm the bad interviewer, Michael. What is the most important? What is the biggest? What do you see as your biggest opportunity for your business? Because you're a visionary.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely a visionary. That's a nice EOS plug there, right? So Ben, my older brother, is the integrator here at the company. So from a visionary perspective, we're just getting started within Renovating KC, only being around. This is our third calendar year. We've ironically have some business consultants here working out of our shop for the next couple of weeks to just further analyze our business to figure out how they can help. And they're amazed by the amount of progress that we've made in basically 28 months. And to me, again, I attribute that to the team. So the goals moving forward is we're not slowing down. The team's going to continue to get larger, the different verticals that we can take over. We've kind of built this machine. So now the machine, we can take this to wherever we want to take it to. So whether it's design build, whether it's home services, whether it's launching into new verticals within the Renovating KC brand. I mean, with our backgrounds, collectively, it's well over a century between the people that work here in construction. So we want to kind of just dominate the single family, the home space. If you're having an issue, whether you want to remodel, concerns, repair, anything with your house, we just want to be the first call. We can refer you to a real estate agent. We can refer you to a different home inspector. We can refer you to whatever you need for your house. We just recommend calling Renovating KC first, trusting our team here. So from the revenue perspective, obviously we want that to grow. From the team side, we want that to double or triple. But for us, it's just not about slowing down. It's about increasing numbers across the board for us.
You both need to pat yourselves on the back for your solopreneur.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Miss Geri. So squad goals. What are goals for the rest of 2024 and into 2025? What do those look like?
Into 25. So it's really twofold. One is we want to get the book into the hands of every educator nationwide. Again, going back to the thought of it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And so get the book, right? Navigating the Unexpected, because it will help. And it's written as a playbook. So if you already have systems in place but want to augment, you can grab from that book, take our ideas, and just support your students even more. If you're starting from the ground up and you need to become trauma informed and you need to build a dynamic problem solving team, we can start there. The other goal is let us help you, right? We want to come out and work with your teacher teams, your schools, and your districts, because it's a daunting process, right? When you get into a crisis situation, it's that fight or flight, right? We want to help, we want to solve. And here's the thing, you're not going to solve the problem for the child. But if you have the support, if you have the team in place, if you have your communication skills down, if you know what kind of data you need to collect for that individual student, and then be able to analyze that data so that you can give them the behavioral, the social, emotional, and the physical interventions on top of the academics, you're set, right? But we want you to have that structure in place. And so, like I said, the first the first goal is for us to get the book into the hands of every educator out there. And then give us a call. We're on LinkedIn, we're on social platforms. Reach out to us, because we want to come help you to implement that system of support for your kiddos.
I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, Stephen, squad goals 2024 into 2025 and beyond.
Yeah, I mean, for us, we're trying to obviously attack. It's a pretty lofty goal, but between all the companies combined, the 9-figure revenue top line number is within striking distance for us within the next few years, not in the next probably year, to answer your question. But I mean, for us, it's about to continue to build out the team. So we've got several openings that are coming here at Renovating KC. So we're not going to be posting on job postings or anything like that. So we work and acquire basically from referrals. So we're just looking for A+ players. We're looking for team members that are super hungry, that understand this space a little bit, but me and everybody else, right? We're looking for somebody with a really good attitude, looking for somebody who's willing to train and just kind of be a hunter. You know, we're looking for people that are really, really hungry in this space. So
have you already started to get calls about your HVAC business? So for the viewers out there, HVAC and plumbing is one of the hottest things in private equity. So are you already starting to get calls?
You know, it's funny you say that. When you launch a renovating or a service company, it seemingly those calls start happening pre-revenue, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But I think they're just trying to get on your board. But for us, you know, we don't have any desire to sell. You know, we're gonna run this puppy as long as we can. I mean, I can't say I would never sell it, but you know, the average age of people that work here is in their low to mid 30s. So everybody here is just ready to see what the next 10, 15 years looks like. But yeah, the multiplier on private equity purchases in the home service space, we're running out of tradespeople. I mean, some people talk about it, that the younger generation is not going into the trades. So what's happening is the successful companies in this space know that, and they can trade at a significantly higher multiplier to a private equity firm, because a private equity firm knows that they're not making any more plumbers. You know, the amount of people that are going into the plumbing space or the trade space or HVAC or whatever is significantly dropped, which is an interesting dynamic here. We've been able to acquire some really good talent that is in their 20s and 30s, which is super unique because those people are really driven. Otherwise, why would they be in the space? They would be in tech or in something else. But yeah, it's pretty interesting watching the private equity space eat up, you know, the small guys. But we get to keep lower prices for now.
One thing I'll just say, because Geri's on the show, for the educators is, you know, the software developer used to make $150,000, $120,000 coming in and out of school. Now a plumber will be making 120, 150 with a couple of years of experience.
Oh yeah.
And so, you know, Stephen, we hope that you have other people from your team join us on the show. And then Geri, we also hope that you have your co-author join us on the show and they sign up, and we really, really appreciate it. But I can't really close the show because I'm not a media celebrity and I don't do this for a living. So really? Michael, we need you to bring us home. And then we're gonna wave at the camera as we go off.
Well, real quick, before we say goodbye, I always have to ask the guests, Geri and Stephen, if it's your birthday and somebody is taking you out, where are you going to eat dinner? Where are you going to dinner? Real quick, Geri.
Jasper's.
I'm going to Jasper's. I'll see you there. All right, Stephen.
I'm pretty basic. So there's a Red Door Grill right down the road from our house. So I'm a big Red Door fan.
Me too. Actually, Scott, where are you going? You know where I'm going.
At 87th and Lackman, there's a barbecue restaurant that used to be where Stephen and I grew up, called Hayward's. Hayward's used to be a college in Antioch when we were kids. Now it's survived through a bunch of locations, but it's more about nostalgia.
Duly heard and understood. Well, on behalf of Scott and I, and of course, Bestway International, Geri, Stephen, we want to say thanks for being on Drinks with Leaders today. You guys did great. And best of all, you didn't swear, you didn't fart, you didn't black out, which are the 3 rules. So goal achieved.
Yay!
Right.
Thank you for having us.
Let's wave.
Yeah, thank you.
Tuesday, Aaron will be back next Tuesday. Everybody say bye.
Bye.